let's jump right into it here. What I wanted to cover today, first and foremost, is paywalls. So you all should be able to see my screen right now. Let's see, I've got the blog up. This is our last week's blog post on paywalls. And I'm basically, in these webinars, these office hours, I'm planning to just unpack these blog posts a little bit more, show some examples of what we're talking about and just make it more of a conversation. So like with all GoToWebinars, I won't be able to hear you guys, the attendees asking questions. So you are all muted, but you can throw us questions in the chat box. So if you want to just say hello in there, just so that I know you can all hear me, that would be great. And we'll go back and forth through the questions area of GoToWebinar. So that should be one of the drop downs in the GoToWebinar control panel. Okay, it looks like some folks are finding that, so that's good. Okay, so today's topic is paywall models, and this is really good timing on this. I'm actually meeting with a whole bunch of publishers this week, publishers that many of them even have free print editions, and they are looking at doing a paywall. So this is something that everyone should at least consider, because there's a paywall for any type of paper. No matter what your strategy is with digital, I think there's something that would fit. As you'll see, there's even some types of quote unquote paywalls that don't require any payment. We call those registration walls. And the idea there is that you get something in exchange for giving away all this great content online. And what you get in that case is the person's email. So we'll go through that in just a moment here. And it looks like we've got a bunch of people on. So I think we'll go ahead and dive into this blog post now. Let me just make sure that I've got my screen. Okay, so we're good there. All right, and this is all being recorded, so if you have to jump off in the middle, no problem. We're going to share this video with everyone that jumped on today. So let's jump right into it here. So this is, from the newsletter, and I just kind of want to go through some of the important points here. I think the point that Jack made here early on in the post is that, although the pandemic is, far from over, what we're starting to see is that people change their paywall model, right in the middle in response to the shutdown. And now they're kind of reevaluating it, or if they never had a paywall before, they're considering adding one now. So I think a lot of that is just prompted by the fact that the whole pandemic has accelerated a lot of the trends that we've seen in local media, which is the declining advertising revenue, especially on digital. So the logic here is that we have to fund journalism, and as we go more and more digital centric, we need to adjust the economics, the business model behind it. So even if, again, I'll just stress this again, even if you have a free print edition, you should consider some type of a paywall. As the publisher of the Acorn newspapers once told me, his logic behind it, they launched a paywall in 2019, even though their print editions are still free. His way of looking at it was, I'm getting a ton of people telling me almost in a joking way that, oh, I canceled my print edition because I just get everything for free online. And so that's a problem, because now he's losing numbers in his print circulation audience. And, then the advertisers are going to see those declining numbers. So if for no other reason, you should consider a paywall for your website so that it doesn't cannibalize the print business and take away from that, even if your whole business is based on advertising. Okay, so that's just one point. Now, let's go through the different types of paywalls. We've got three main types. They kind of fall into these three categories. You got your hard paywall, soft paywall, and the registration wall. Now, really, the hard paywall and the registration wall, there's just one example. There's just really one way to do those two types of paywalls. And we'll talk about that. The soft paywall, there's about 4 different ways that you can do it. Really, more like 6 different ways if you look at all the different kind of configurations you can have there. So let's break this down a little bit.